All right, y'all. So then we're going to break down spiritual architecture. I'm going to go into detail about how exactly does the MT3, the author to architect, the Ethiopian Christ diagnostic system work as far as transforming your identity. But before we jump in, let me get my theme song popping. Let's check this out for a second.
MT3, Master Teacher 33, 360. Dr. Will Rogers in the lab, Diagnostic circle with me. Etymology key, track the code, see the root. Blood type is your guide type. Plasma speak the truth. M.A.P vaccine, trying to murder the God gene. But we break the three-stranded cord. Unbreakable scene. Cosmology, biology, theology. Three strands, no break. Math, music, language, faith, hope, love, manifest the cake. Dr. Will Rogers, that's a little scroll in the clutch. Master Teacher 33, dropping bombs. Wake the Christ in us. Diagnostic circle, 750 pages of destiny service. Personal ministry blueprint, now you're locked in purpose. Etymology surgeon, dissect every syllable and root. Diaconia, divine service, execute the truth. Your name, your blood, your stars align in the report. He flips the script, rewires your mind, elevates the core. Blood type, gut type, God type, coded in the veins, no lie. Type O, universal king, type A, lion in the sky. B, build a spirit, AB, royal DNA flame. Plasmonics in the plasma, dragon blood, reclaim your name. They're trying to jab the B in that too. Shut the pineal light, kill the God gene quick, but the Christ mind still ignites. Cosmology, paint the star. Biology, run the cells divine. Theology, decode the scroll. Three strands intertwined. Just like math, drop the pattern. Music, hit the vibe supreme. Language, big creation, that's the triple threat dream. A chord of three is not easily broken. Ecclesiastes flow. MT3, independent, we the chosen. Watch us grow. Dr. Will Rogers said it plain. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Your God type running through your veins. Cosmology, biology, theology, math, music, language, three-stranded cord, unbreakable, period. MC3, Master Teacher 33, 360. Diaconia circle rising, we the way, we the frequency. Blood type, God type, etymology on fleek. V-Mat 2 can't touch this, three-stranded cord 2D. Cosmology, biology, theology, math, music, language, unbreakable cord. Now go manifest your advantage. Kingdom millionaire mindset, life optimization elite. Step in the Diagnostic circle, feel the heat. Dr. Will Rogers, MT3, overstand the core, then step in. Kingdom come. Let's go. Let's go. MT3.
Booyah! Woo-wee! Won't he do it? All right, my high vibrational individual expressions of God on earth. That's the theme sung by my boy Federico Greenwood. Check out his YouTube channel. He'll be dropping some serious digital content. Today, brothers and sisters, got a powerful message as I delve into the details of the 6-month program. I do have a 6-day program for the people that's on the fence. You can go through the 6-day intro that kind of gives you a taste of what it's all about. The 6-day program is only $199. As you know, the 5-year program, 6-month program is $5,000. Payment plans are available. So
imagine being able to build anything
less,
just by thinking.
I'm sorry for less, but you know, for the monthly payments of $1,000 a month to go through the 6-month program. So the way the program is set up, as you may or may not understand, my name in Hebrew means Betaziah. Let me flip my screen back over. And Betaziah is an interesting biblical character when we get into the Helios Biblios. So inside the Bible, there's this guy, his name is Betaziah. And when Moses received the Torah at Mount Sinai, he was given visions of the tabernacle, the Mishkan, So this is a tent-like structure. Tent-like structure where God's presence, the Shekinah glory of God, would dwell. Inside of this structure are the Shekinah in the midst of the camp of Israel. So this structure is designed to house the Shekinah glory of God, the Most High. So this is where the presence is, a structure where the presence of God dwells. This is a pattern. Now, I've been doing this for 30 plus. It's in my DNA. This is my calling. It's my destiny. Now, remember, that's what I started with way back in the day when I was breaking down people's years. And hopefully you already got your Diagnostic report. Was my destiny report. Here we go. So if you don't have this already, then you need to back up really and start with this. 750 pages. Just go to the website, diagnosticreport.com. This is your personal Bible. This is your personal blueprint. Without this, my brothers, without this, my sisters, you're just playing church. Now, I ain't mad at you. You know, bloom where you plant it. But today we're breaking down the next level of the game, which is architecture. So I'm an architect. I'm a spiritual architect by birth. So again, I didn't learn this. This is in my DNA. This is what I've been called and destined by the big G, to be, to do, and to have. So once you tap into your destiny, you will find out that my job is, and again, this is my name in Hebrew. And you got to, so that's what this is, all this, what this is about. So as you get into this, and this is at my main website, masterteacher33.com, you want to check it out. So it was through Moses received this pattern, okay, for the heaven dwelling place. So this was Moses's job, but it wasn't Moses. Moses received the instruction, but it was carried out by Bethaziah, which I've never heard a Reverend Doctor or Bishop preach about Bethaziah. So Bethaziah was the grandson of from the tribe of Judah. He was the ancestor of King David. So according to Josephus in the book of Antiquities, chapter 3, verse 2, he was the husband of Moses' sister, Miriam. So this was the same, again, chosen to go with Moses and Aaron to the top of Mount Sinai, top of the mountain again. So this is what I'm talking about. Bethaziah, Glenn, again, is a type or a picture of the Messiah, or Yahushua the HaMashiach. So that's all I do for a living. All I do is build temples that house the Shekinah glory of the Most High. Now the question, how do I do that? I've developed a system called S.P.A.C.E. Spiritual, psychological, authentic, Christ energy. That's the architecture. That is the structure where God downloads, if you want to use that term, frequency, wave, verbal vibration, espiritas, the pneuma or the ruach. And then your job is to oscillate or to vibrate inside of the spirit. Now, these 5 pillars, let's jump back over. I reveal, explain, illuminate inside of each one of these documents. So at the primary website of MT33, Author to Architect, there you will see each one of these 5 pillars. And these 5 pillars, again, give us the acronym S.P.A.C.E. So we see each of the acronyms, starting with the S, but the Spirit. That is, again, 1-month program. We got the psychological component. We got the authentic component. We got the Christ conscious component. And we got the energy, or the entrepreneurial energy component. So each one of these make up this acronym for this word S.P.A.C.E. Now the way that the system works is you start off with you take the test, and the test lets me know what of the 5 areas are you the weakest in? Let's say you take the test and you score really low on the entrepreneurial component. So I was working on the entrepreneurial component for one of my clients. And for example, this is an example of the entrepreneurial component. So we see here that enterprise requires embodiment. This is day 17 of this. Let's go back up to, and let's go through some of the days of this 30-day program. If you score low in the entrepreneur, this is just an example from one of the other clients that's enrolled. So we're going back up to day 1. So in this component, each one is the same. So this is one example. So one of my clients scored really, really low in the energy component. So we're starting that. So his energy is off. So we're starting with the energy of the entrepreneurial. Now, you may take the test and maybe you may score low in the authentic. What's up, brother Mwanga? What's up, my brother? You may score very low in the authentic. You may score very low in the psychological component. So once you take the test, it lets me know what area to start. Now, the test, let's go back to the space component. So the space pillar, the spiritual pillar, you get this free. That comes with the program. And so I go, first of all, remember, never listen to a reverend doctor, bishop, or a master teacher 33 if they don't break down the etymology. So etymology, so before I start any program, I make sure I break down the etymology. So you understand what I'm talking about. So the first thing that we do is break down the word spirit. And once we get into it, we break it all down so you understand exactly what we're talking about. Then we get into the tradition, meaning what is the causality of this reality? So I'm coming to this with the Ethiopian Christ canon because it has a deeper level of awareness, and it breaks down what we're talking about, the divine spark. So now we know that when what we're talking about, when I say the word spirit, we're all on the same page. And so again, this is just one pillar. And so when I break down the word spirit, I reveal, explain, illuminate, and simplify. About that. And so when we break this down, we're able to see the etymology. I get into the Ethiopian Christ canon. I break down all of that, what that's all about. Again, I'm just going through one of the 5 pillars to give you an example of exactly how the program works step by step. Then we get into the psychological foundation of everything that I'm sharing. I get into the neuroscience. Remember, the Bible is the body, and the body is the Bible. Whoever you're talking to, whoever you're following, whoever you listen to, make sure that they're breaking it down on the cosmological level, the theological level, and the biological level. Otherwise, you're not getting the entirety, which again, they may not be as in depth because maybe they're just giving you an introduction. But if you're going deep, you want to make sure that you're breaking down all of the psychological, the spiritual components, as well as the biological aspects. So here I give you all of the psychological facts that supports the teaching. From the neuroscience, I break down the Harvard study, get into some of Carl Jung's work. We break down, again, the biblical aspects of it. We're quoting people. We're doing some research, talking about David. I forgot our boy's last name. So we're breaking down and giving you, okay, where did I get this information from? So that way you can research, you can fact check what I'm talking about. Then we get into the pillar itself. So what we're breaking down inside of, again, this is just one of the 5. This is the spiritual one. You could also click over and do the same thing for the psychological pillar. I've done the same thing for the authentic pillar. I've done the same thing for the Christ pillar. That's a good one. And then I did the same thing for the example that we're talking about, the energy or the entrepreneurial pillar. So what we're doing is there's 5, each one of these are about 100 pages. But you're doing one pillar per month. The first month of the program, we're spent going through the diagnosis. Okay, what is the diagnosis? Now, this is deep. You got to follow me. So once we give you an introduction and we're breaking down, again, what each one of these pillars are all about, you go down and then you get into the daily practices. We break that down. We get into the canon. We get into the scripture. We got a place for you to do some reflection, take your notes. Then we ask some serious questions. Then down here, we get into the scoring. Now, this is really, really, really deep for you to over and understand what we're saying. So each one of these questions, this is just one component of the 5 pillars. So for example, question number 1. Now notice, when you're answering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are your options. It asks you question number 1. It says, I feel connected to a higher divine intelligence. If it's 1, strongly agree. 2, you disagree. 3, you're neutral. 4, you agree. And 5, you strongly disagree. So you will answer question number 1. Strongly disagree. 2, strongly agree. Then you do the same thing. Question number 2. I struggle to sense spiritual guidance in my life. Okay? Strongly agree, neutral, strongly disagree. And you go through each one of these questions. And then again, I experience moments. Of deep spiritual clarity. Or again, number 4, I often feel spiritually disconnected or numb. I trust my intuition when making decisions. So you're going through each one of these 12 questions. Now, this is where it gets deep. When you finish going through this, sorry about that, when you finish these 12 questions, then we have a scoring. Now, the way that, again, this is kind of the back end of what I do after you take the test. I reverse the even numbered questions. And I explain that for the people that enroll in the program, because then that allows me to give one of the, it's anywhere from about 100 different diagnoses. For example, after you take the test, I add up all of the numbers and you come up with a score from 12 to 60. That score ranks and it lets me know where you land at, whether your spirit is fragmented, whether your spirit is starting to develop, whether the spirit is aligned with source, or whether the spirit is actually, whether you are actually one with, you have embodied the true Christ. Now remember, Jesus represents the person, Christ represents the consciousness. So that's two different, so each person has the possibility to establish Christ's consciousness. So Christ's consciousness existed before Yahushua the HaMashiach and after. Yahushua the HaMashiach isn't the only frequency, wave, verbal, vibration, or individual that established Christ's consciousness. In other words, he's the firstborn of many brothers. That means we all have the possibility to rise in an elevated state of consciousness. That's the point of the program. So the point of the program is to get you from, again, I am alone to I am connected. When you get to the space where you really honestly feel that you have a true, authentic connection with Yahushua the HaMashiach or Christ consciousness, that's the point. That's the goal. That's the destination. Then we do the exact same thing again. After you go through, you spend 30 days. Now, when you enroll in this program, it prints out based upon, again, because what is the entire goal? To get you to this level that it talks about in Ephesians, one new man. Sorry about that. I don't know why my light's on. One new man in Christ. One new man in Yahushua the HaMashiach. Why is that light on? Bear with 1 second. Let me see if I can turn that off. And so it's all about establishing one new man in Christ. And so your job and my job is what? Your job and my job is for us to operate and vibrate according to our own God-given destiny in diakonia. That's it. You're not, I mean, everybody has their own destiny. Everybody has their own purpose. Everybody has their own way of seeing the world. Your job is to be you. That's it. So as we go through these 5 pillars and we establish this frequency, wave, verb, and vibration, let me see if I can turn this light off. And we establish that the goal is to get you to a point where you are operating and vibrating at the highest level of your awareness. So it's not about you trying to be somebody that you're not. It's all about you tapping into what I call Homo Galacticus. That's it. Homo Galacticus represents the one new man, where you are the vibrational equivalent of God on earth. Now, if you notice here, the overall space total. So once we go through all 5 pillars, write this up. Once you go through all 5 pillars, it gives me an overall score. And that's anywhere from 75 to 140, all the way down to the maximum score of 375, which represents the elevated, coherent, magnetic frequency, what we call Christ consciousness. Because that's the goal. The goal is getting you to a place where you are operating and vibrating in what we call Christ consciousness. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. Because one of the biggest things is each and every one of us feel something. What do we feel? We feel that we're right and everybody else is wrong. So when you take the assessment, what it does is it gives you the underlying pattern, the underlying reticular activating system. Because remember, patterns of power. We don't see the world the way that it is. We see the world the way that we are. So this program is all about you examining you. That's all it is. It's not about other people. It's about you sitting down and looking at why you believe what you believe. It's not what you believe. It's not about, trying to change your beliefs. It's not about if you're a Mormon, if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, if you this, that. I'm not here to try to change your belief. What the point of the program is to get you to sit down and see, okay, what mask am I wearing? We all wear a mask. We all present a certain, let's use the word disposition. So the goal is to examine the disposition. And remember, the external world matches the internal world. So if there's something wrong with the external world, there's something wrong. Wrong simply means out of alignment. So we want to be in alignment with our God-given assignment. That's where the 750-page assignment doctrine, diakonia, which means destiny or service or ministry. You have yours, I have mine. We're all called, we're all destined, we've all been justified, we've all been glorified, we've all been sanctified from a biblical perspective. So the goal is not trying to change people. The goal is to remember awareness. Your goal in life is to connect to the role. If you are in love with the goal, you will never accomplish the role. So the goal is to fall in love with the role. What is the role? The role is the day-to-day activities that take you in the direction of the goal. And so as you go through this and you score, for example, let's get back into how the scoring, how the diagnostic, how the system works, just for an example. So when you go through all of these tests, I'm not sure why that light keeps popping on. But anyway, as you go through all these tests, it gives you a scoring, and that score allows me to then go back through it and give you the diagnosis, whether you're wearing a mask, whether you're starting to emerge, whether you are aligned, or whether you are operating your true authentic self. And then you're going through, again, some of the questions. As an example, these are the questions that you ask. Remember the scoring system. So as you take the test, you go through it, gives me the score, and then we sit down and we do the one-on-ones, and then we give you the 30-day projected protocol. Now this is the good part. See, the good part is let me go back to the example that I was using earlier. One of my clients in the energy component, and let me just show you, going back over to the energy component. When we went through and he took the test, this is what it came out with. So he has a scattered drive. His disposition when it comes to the energy, the entrepreneurial component, is scattered. And so what we have to do is go in and find out why was his energy scattered. I'm trying to, because the light is being used, I'm trying to turn off this light. And whatever. Not sure why that light is on, so sorry about that. But anyway, let's go down to day 2. So that's day 1. And then so for 30 days, exhaustion distorts vision. So we go through and we break down. The system tells what exactly is what I call negative habit pattern. Remember, this pattern is below the threshold of your consciousness. So for this individual, exhaustion is not neutral. It bends how you see. The original report said that this pillar at level 1 includes exhaustion, heaviness, and an overload rather than failure. So exhausted entrepreneurship, which is just another word for energy, interprets everything through pressure. So this individual he's exhausted. But why? What is causing him to be so exhausted? So we get over and it breaks down the cause of why he feels exhausted when it comes to expressing his energy. Then we get into day 3. So we're going through for 30 days. It gives him 30 keys, 1 key per day to break down to find out. So what we find out is reactive hustle is not stewardship. So this individual is he's busy. See, you can be busy and still not be a steward. So the original identity shift moved from reactive to intentional. So his job is to go from reacting to stuff to establishing his intention. So applied entrepreneurial, the issue is not only low energy, but low governance over output, attention, and decisions. So hustle, driven by fear, compromise, or comparison, urgency, or survival may produce motion, but it does not always produce aligned enterprise. So this individual is taking action, but he feels he has been driven by demons instead of being led by angels. So a lot of people, when it comes to their expression of their energy, they feel that they have to do it instead of wanting to do it. Then I provide the scriptural support. Thoughts of the diligent tend only to be plenteous, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. Proverbs 21:5. So in addition to giving the feedback, again, and this is each day. So day 4, it breaks down entrepreneurial leaks have names. So it breaks down, okay, his energy is being leaked out somewhere. That's why he's tired. So when leaks, say what leaks attention also leaks enterprise. So it breaks down the framework. The framework identifies leaks. He's feeling overwhelmed, difficulty grounding, being drained by others as signs of fragmentation. So his energy is fragmented or departmentalized. Then day 5, calling needs structure. Calling without structure remains as inspiration and motivation, not impact. So it breaks down that, hey, you got a calling, but you have no structure. Day 6, low motivation can hide fear of embodiment. Then we continue. So each day, it tells him what he has to work on to repair his energy, grounding before growth. So as we're going through the energy component, and then we got days, and each day of the month for 30 days, rest is execution, boundaries create capacity. And so every person has their own 30-day protocol. Scattered ideals need a home, and it just goes through. So every day it goes through this and it breaks it down. And we do the same thing for each module. That's why it's so detailed. Every single day. And each day there's 5 different things that you have to apply, and it ends in what is called an anchor. So the anchor statement, that's the outcome. So we're focusing on the obstacle. Then we're also looking at the opportunity that allows for the outcome. So that way, again, you're able to have options. So there's 5 O's that we really address inside of the 6-month program. Now, again, I still have the 6th day. I did it for Father's Day. I'll also extend it to today for anybody who wants to take a look at the program, because it is $5,000 for the entire 6-month program. And it also comes with the unlimited one-on-ones, where each day you can call me, or I'll call you, and we break down. If you got any questions, we go over and make sure that you're on point. So you can do that same thing for the 6 days. So we can just take an introduction. The 6-day program is $199. The entire 6-month program is $5,000 or $1,000 a month. Now, because what we're doing, we're totally changing your identity. We're making you, because remember, identity creates energy. No one takes action outside of your identity. If you don't believe, if you are an architect, if you are an accountant, if you are a plumber, if you are an electrician, the action that you take is in alignment with your title, with your ID. So your identity, because labels are limits. So you want to limit yourself. You want to label yourself according to your destiny. As I said at the beginning of the show, when I did this 30 plus years ago, and I started my journey, I'm an architect. I'm a spiritual architect because that's what my name in Hebrew means, Betazayel. And I broke that down at the beginning. That's available at the website, masterteacher30.com. Click on the link that says Betazayel. If you've never, I'll read the book of Antiquities, chapter 3, and it breaks down who Betazayel is. He is the builder of the temple that houses the Shekinah glory of God way, way back in the day. So I'm doing the same day. So I'm a modern day Betazayel. That's all it means. Now remember, Betazayel means in the shadow. So it means adumbration. Now my name, if you know my name, that's what it means. So I've always lived in the shadow of God. So name, lane. So I've broken down fetters, June 6. Letters are not letters. Now we don't know, most of us have never studied gematria or numerology or sigils or runes. So a lot of us have a difficulty understanding the power of adoration or the Aleph-Bet or the Kabbalah So it's difficult for us in the West to understand that what the symbol, if someone draws, because remember symbols, the universe, structure, influences matter. So if you take out pen and paper, this is magic. Grimoria. For us in the West, it's difficult. We have not been taught grimoria or grammatus. Grammar means witchcraft, but witchcraft means witchcraft. It's a question. Which? W-H-I-C-H. Which? So it's not witch. W-I-T-C-H. Hooked on phonics did not work for me. So witchcraft is a question. Which craft? Which purpose? What is your craft? That's why you see all of the stars, especially actors, especially athletes, they're always talking about their craft. Most people live and die and they never get exposed and connected with their true craft. The late, great Dr. Miles Monroe taught me the power of purpose, because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So the apex, pen represents penis, paper represents poo nanny, sex magic. Another study for another time. But if you take out poo nanny, you take out penis, and you do this, that's the letter A, right, for us in English. But what is that? What is that? That's the apex. That's one of the most powerful symbols. So once you understand that there are 22 letters in the alphabet, you have 22 amino acids in the body. The 22 letters control the 22 amino acids in the body. The body is the Bible, and the Bible is the body. To control the body, you must understand the Bible. And to understand the Bible, you must understand the body. That's why I wrote a whole book entitled The Biology of the Temple. And I broke this all down inside of my 1,000 books that I've written over the last 30 years. This stuff is so deep. You are so powerful. You can spend your whole lifetime and you just scratching the surface, bruh. I mean, you barely scratching the surface. If you really understood who, and what if you're melanated? Oh, what if you are a melanated individual? Do you understand? I don't know if you understand. Do you know that this is, look at your circuitry. Do you know that your muscles are batteries? They're little pumps. Your body's filled with sodium and potassium. You have ATP and ADP. The body produces it. You are a biological, you are an electrical machine. You produce energy. You produce chi, prana, you. This is a 300+ page book, and it breaks down the temple. That's you. Do you understand temple science? Now I know Brother Mwanga know what I'm talking about. So once you get into that, the body is the body, but this is the biology of the temple. If you don't have this one, man, I give you a discount today. We'll do this for like $50. It normally sells for like $200. It comes with an audio, right? So this is the systems that's inside of your body. Who controls these? You do, boo-boo. So all the space system does, it gives you control over the 12 systems inside of the body. The skeletal system, the muscle system, the circular system, the digestive system, the nervous system, the reproductive system, the lymphatic system, the endocrine system, the respiratory system. This book is hazardous to your current theology. You want to totally oscillate and vibrate on another level. Exodus 25:8 breaks all of this down. So inside the pages of this book is life-changing information for each one of your cells. Now, this book helps you activate the space. Now, inside of this academy, you get access to my entire library. So when you enroll in the program, let's say you have some questions on, grab one of my other books here. Let's say you are a melanated individual and you haven't heard and you haven't read a lot of information, so you don't know that melanin is God's communication device. Let's say you are new and you don't understand the frequency that you are producing and that you're oscillating and vibrating in. So then that means that I would send you this book to assist you with understanding you. And we would break down all of the fact that melanin gives you the ability to feel way more than anybody else. Because melanin, again, is an amplifier. It absorbs all frequencies. And it has the ability, so melanin is the chemical key that allows us to tap into unlimited inner chi or energy. So again, this is scientific fact. This has nothing to do with, I mean, you can look all of this up. Melanin is crazy. Once you understand, like this chapter right here, that breaks down again, I know it's backwards, but this is melanin, polymer, and tyrosine. So this is, again, tyrosine, again, one of the amino acids, and it talks about how it is, again, produces energy, how you establish your metabolism. And it breaks down how all of this stuff works. Because melanin gives humans the ability to feel because it absorbs all the frequency, waves, and vibration of energy. It also breaks down the different types of melanin. So we got again, look at, everybody has melanin because there's 5 types of melanin. That's wild. Even what we call Caucasians have melanin. Melanin is considered the God particle. So we break all of this down because it's extremely important, because people perish for lack of gnosis, for lack of knowledge. So it's not about trying to change anyone. It's about you understanding your own frequency, your own wave, your own vibration, you becoming Christ consciousness on the planet. That's what it's all about. Life is all about you operating and vibrating on the highest level that God has designed and gifted you to operate and vibrate on. It's not about attacking anybody. It's not about trying to change anybody. It's not about trying to, save anybody. It's about you becoming the best or the highest version of yourself. So this 6-month program, again, each month you have every single day. You're given assignments to accomplish. You're given certain things to read. Then I provide additional reading material for the people that get into, if there's one particular topic that really interests you. Let's say you're getting into melanin, like uro, pheno, and neuromelanin, and you want to break it down and you want to understand, okay, how does this become, God's communication device? Let's say you want to get into over and understanding what happened to the DNA, and you want to break down the greatest story never told, the twin flames, and you want to really understand the biology behind your theology. You really want to delve into understanding, how did you get here? You want to really understand, overstand, and understand all of the hidden. It's not hidden because it's bad. It's hidden because it's not shared. It's not talked about by a lot of people. So all of this, and you have access to every book that I've written. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to give you all 1,000 books. It just simply means if there's a specific topic as we go through the 6-month program that you really need more in-depth knowledge on, then I will send you the book that addresses the specific issue that has you stuck in the areas of wealth, health, wisdom, and great relationships. So last but not least, let's go back to the website and we wrap all of this up so that you can understand the power of this system. Because again, I had to do this for myself. That's why the title of the website is Author to Architect, because I had to transcend. Just being an author was no longer good enough. So wherever you are right now, you have to go to the next level. And the way that you do that is by simply going to the website. And again, I still apologize about this light. There's the Space Identity Transformation Protocol. There's a bunch of videos here you can watch. Click on the videos, it takes you through it. But you just want to go through this, watch all the videos, read through, especially this video on the 6-month identity transformation. Then you want to get down and take the free quiz. Just click this link right here. When you click the link, that takes you over to the free quiz. And then just answer that's the free quiz. That gives you some basic information. There's the payment options, some more websites, and then there's the 3 steps that you go to join the system, watch the videos, take the free quiz, join the 6-month program. So that's it, brothers and sisters. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you, Brother Mwanga. Appreciate you, my brother. Make sure, man, whether you take the system or not, if you really, really are still on the fence, take the 6-day program. 6 days, we'll go through it. We'll introduce you to the entire program. At the end of the 6 days, then you can make a decision if you want to join the entire 6-month program. Man, I love you. I appreciate you. We're going to see you at the top. God bless.